oh geez, oh my, there I go again. You don't score enough, I mean no offense.
Yo, what's up YouTube? It's your boy Moose and welcome to the channel, and today you guys already know from the title of the video and the thumbnail, we are going to be doing my NHL 23 review. So for a lot of you guys, NHL 23 will be coming out on October 14th. However, by pre-ordering the X Factor edition, you were able to get 3 days early access, which is what I did. So I have been grinding NHL 23, checking out all the game modes, the new features and updates, compiling a list of all the things that I like, as well as all the things that I don't like in NHL 23, as well as things that I wish that they had put in the game. So in today's review, guys, I'm going to go over and grade the gameplay, the presentation, franchise mode, Hockey Ultimate Team, Be a Pro, World of Chell / EA Sports Hockey League, and then we're going to give the game an overall grade as well. So without wasting any more time, let's get into it. Gameplay. So far, I like the changes that they've made to the gameplay this year. The game just seems to feel and play a lot smoother than past games. Don't get me wrong, it's not perfect and there are definitely still some issues in the gameplay, such as glitch goals and bad player animations, but the game definitely feels a lot more realistic this year. I think a big reason for this is due to two major changes that they made in the gameplay. Number one, they changed the poke check mechanics to no longer reward players for spamming or holding down on the poke check button. Now, if you hold or spam poke check, it slows your player down so dramatically that opposing players can skate past you easily. This forces players to actually time their poke checks like they would in real life, as well as play more positionally. Knowing that you can't rely on spamming poke check to get back faster, it just makes the game a lot more realistic in my opinion. Number two, they improved the AI, and more specifically, they really improved the AI goaltending this year. The side-to-side movement for goalies is so much better in NHL 23, which has helped to address the cross crease and one-timer issues that the game has had in the past. I'm not saying it's perfect in NHL 23, but it's definitely a lot better this year than it has been in the past, and it's made the game a lot more enjoyable. Overall, they didn't do anything drastic, but the changes that they did make to the gameplay were very good ones, and were ones that were much needed, especially the improved AI goalies. Gameplay gets a B. Presentation. First of all, the soundtrack for this game is awesome. It feels like a return to older NHL soundtracks with a very heavy influence of rock music. The soundtrack has great variety as well, with 42 total songs, so you don't feel like you're listening to the same 5 songs over and over again. The soundtrack in NHL 23 has a lot more staying power, and I've been vibing with it quite a bit. Let me know, guys, down in the comments what you guys think of the soundtrack this year. The new hat-trick animation is really well done. The fact that you can change the items that the fans throw on the ice is also a really nice touch. And of course, the long overdue, much needed, updated Stanley Cup presentation was finally added to this year's game. Check it out, guys.
Comes the cup racer. I wonder who gets it first. Well, we never know, but it's always fun to see who gets to put it up first. And here comes the captain to skate over and collect the Stanley Cup. And Ray, I don't care how many times he won this never gets old. Well, how could it? I mean, it's so hard to win. Everything has to go right for you to win the Stanley Cup. And here he is again, and he'll be first to hoist it over his head. And look who's hoisting a Stanley Cup again. Ray, this is starting to become routine. Well, it is, but here's the thing is, like, you don't just get to show up and win the cup. You've got to be good enough to be on the best teams year after year. He has been, and here he wins again. Ray, I think to win a Stanley Cup these days, you need critical goaltending, you need big play goaltending, and they got it from them.
Well, they did, but it's really rare to win without it. And I guess when you get to this point, you have to win so many games in such a condensed period of time, your goalie has to be sharp. He delivered.
He made plays right throughout the playoffs. Now someone's making a play to him, handing him the cup, Ray.
Man, good for him, James. I mean, what a creator throughout this playoff. You've got to generate offense, and it's hard to do in the playoffs because the games are so tight. But the leader in assists, people around him became the goal scorers.
Is this where you get jealous in these celebrations here?
No, I was jealous before when the cup came out. I am again now.
The in-game arena presentations, such as the pre-game light shows, are also a really nice touch and make everything more realistic and accurate to real life and really immerses you in that experience. However, they literally didn't change anything when it comes to the main menu or the menu layout for any of the game modes. It all looks pretty much the exact same from years past, which is extremely disappointing. Like, come on, it's 2022, we're on the next generation of consoles, improve your menu layout, EA. Come on, man. They also don't appear to have added any new player celebrations, emotes, equipment, hairstyles, or anything like that in player creation. It's the same old boring stuff that we've had for years now. Like, again, it's 2022 and I'm on PS5. How am I still looking at the same boring shit for my Beer Pro and World of Chell guy? Pure laziness on EA's part. Overall, I love the new cup presentation. The in-game arena updates are cool and I like the hat trick celebrations. But again, I think they could have done a little bit more when it comes to the game menu and individual player customization. Presentation gets a B-. Franchise. They honestly didn't add a whole lot to franchise mode this year, but what they did add, I do believe it's going to be really good for the game mode moving forward. The new custom franchise is a great feature. Not only does it give us more control over our franchise modes and allows us to try a bunch of different stuff, it also opens the door for a potential return for GM/franchise connected in the future. It kind of seems to me that this custom franchise layout that they've added is set up perfectly for that. That would take NHL franchise mode to the next level, guys, so let's hope that that's their plan going forward. As far as NHL 23 is concerned though, I'm pretty excited to try out some of the things this year with the custom franchises. Whether it be an original 6 franchise mode or maybe a league of fully customized and created teams, I'm excited to try out some of the ideas that I can do with this new feature. I really like the ability that you can edit team strategies directly from the edit line screen in franchise mode. Being able to set power play roles such as distributor, carrier, finisher is awesome, and it was a much needed feature. It really makes me feel like I'm in more control of my team, and it really immerses me into the role of GM and coach. One thing though that I really wish that they had improved is the free agency and contract negotiations that they have in the game. It's been the same for so long and it feels extremely outdated. It's long overdue for us to be able to add things like no trade clauses and no movement clauses when negotiating contracts with players. Honestly, how is that not in the game? EA Sports. It's not in the game. Just look at what EA Madden added this year in Madden 23. Players in Madden now have player motivations that impact where they'll sign and for how much. It just makes the experience that much better, and yet here we are in NHL 23 with the same contract system that we've had for years. Disappointing to say the least. So overall, franchise mode is essentially the same as it was last year, minus the custom franchise settings as well as the new cup presentation. So I gotta give it a C+, but I do like the game mode's potential going forward with a potential return of GM Connected. Hockey Ultimate Team. Now, I've personally never been the biggest player of HUT. However, I have tried it out a little bit this year and I've enjoyed it so far. Adding the women's national team players in Ultimate Team was a great move. I think this was a smart move to promote women in the game, as a lot of people play HUT. I've really enjoyed playing HUT Rivals. The 2-minute periods make the game fast-paced, competitive, and fun, and I'm actually low-key getting pretty addicted to it. I am all about weekly events and ways to earn rewards in Ultimate Team, so I think HUT Rivals has been a great add so far. It seems to me like there are a lot of different ways, both offline and online, to play, earn rewards, and build your team. So I like what I see as far as variety is concerned in Ultimate Team this year. I do wish that they had maybe updated the menu layout for Ultimate Team just to keep it fresh, but I'm grasping at straws there. HUT seems solid this year, and I'm actually pretty into it. B+. Be a Pro. They literally changed nothing in Be a Pro. It's literally the exact same thing as last year. Like, I'm pretty sure the opening intro is frame for frame, word for word, the exact same. EA can be so lazy, man. Like, people who play and enjoy Be a Pro, which is a lot of us, deserve way more than what we've been getting in the game mode from EA. I can almost guarantee that they didn't even improve the embarrassing free agency process or anything like that either. Although I haven't gone to that point in the game mode yet, so I don't know for sure. I really wish EA did something like what 2K Sports does for their My Career mode in their basketball game. In their My Career mode, you create your character and are completely immersed into an open world setting called the city. You can travel throughout the city, complete side and main story missions, essentially living a real life with your character. You have a phone, social media, fans, a manager, the whole 9 yards. You get to walk into the arena for game days, walk past the paparazzi as they take your picture walking in for your game. You get to deal with the media doing press conferences before and after games. You have to deal with coaches and all their demands. You have to go to practice after every game, and everything else that you could possibly think of. There are literally shopping malls in the city that you can travel to and spend your in-game currency on to update how your guy looks in the city for game days, interviews, press conferences, literally any situation. You get to appear on magazine covers, build rep in different areas of the city. Like when I play My Career in 2K, I literally spend more than half my time in the city running around, skateboarding, and doing objectives. Playing the games is like a fun bonus. I can only dream that EA Sports would do anything remotely like this. Hopefully they do have some plans for Be a Pro in next year's game, but it's looking like for NHL 23, Be a Pro just isn't going to be any different than last year's game, and for that reason, I give it a D+. World of Chell, EA Sports Hockey League. This is my favorite game mode, guys, and it is the game mode that I play the most, and really the only mode that I play consistently with my friends or other people. Again, another mode where they really didn't add a whole lot. Being able to open hockey bags faster is nice, but not really what I would call a feature. The new X Factors are nice and all, but they only added 2 to the game this year, and that's just not enough. I think they could have added a few more to give us more to do and more to learn. They also didn't change the challenges. It's still the same boring play pro-am games, play ones games, play drop-ins and club games bullshit. Something that they should look to add are weekly events and tournaments that we can enter our club teams into where you can earn rewards for your team. Imagine every weekend companies like Bauer, CCM, or Warrior sponsored and held events for us to play in. Things like 3v3 and 6v6 tournaments. I think that would get people coming back to play World of Chell every weekend, as it would be something to do and something to look forward to. Look at Hockey Ultimate Team and how they have HUT Rivals now. Like, they could do something like that for World of Chell. Also, connecting World of Chell and Be a Pro mode, again like 2K does with their My Career mode in basketball, would also be a huge game changer if EA ever realized that they can make money doing that. Unfortunately, that just isn't the case, and outside of the gameplay updates, World of Chell didn't really get much of an update. So, C-. Overall grade. Overall, I think this is a pretty decent game. Is it the game changer we were all hoping for with GM connected, no glitches, perfect AI, and way better depth to every game mode? No, it's not. But I do like the changes that they made to the gameplay, specifically the AI goaltending improvements and the poke check mechanics. I think the game plays a lot smoother overall, especially when you go from NHL 22 to 23. You do notice that it's a little bit more realistic. Don't get me wrong though, the BS bounces and glitches are still there. I just think they're a little less prominent now, and I've personally really enjoyed my playing experience so far, both online and offline in NHL 23. The presentation updates were necessary, and now that they're in the game, they should just be a given and not something that EA needs to focus on that much anymore. The presentation feels like it should be the final polishing steps for a game, rather than the major main improvements, which is what EA promotes them as. I do think the custom franchises being put in the game sets the table for a GM connected mode in the future, which is exciting as both a content creator as well as just a fan of NHL. But that would require EA Sports getting their heads out of their assholes, so I'm not sure if that's going to happen anytime soon. So while the game does still have its issues and certain game modes didn't get that much of an update, I do think that the changes that they did make this year do make NHL 23 an improvement over NHL 22 by a decent amount. While I would have liked to see a little bit more overall, the game is pretty good all things considered, and I give it a solid B-. I think had they just changed the menu layout to give us a fresh look, and then just added a little bit more to game modes like World of Chell, Franchise, and Be a Pro, I would have been more than happy to give them that B or B+ grade this year. Thank you guys so much for watching my NHL 23 review. If you've been enjoying NHL 23 like I have, give this video a like, comment down below what you've been enjoying or not enjoying about NHL 23, and do your boy Moose a favor and hit that subscribe button. I've got a ton of NHL 23 content on the way, including a Be a Pro series, tons of World of Chell content, franchise modes, and much, much more. Thanks again, and until next time, Moose out.